Welcome to Pets in Paradise TV. Our goal is to help develop the relationship between you and your pet. Here's what's coming up in the next half hour. We'll follow a day in the life of a professional pooper scooper and get the scoop on poop.
Like being at Easter and I'm a little girl again. It's the Easter egg hunt.
Then we'll give you all the info you need to see if the Shetland Sheep Dog is the right breed for your family. You'll witness how the Oahu SPCA rescued a kitten from a freeway nightmare.
I realized he wouldn't survive for much longer and had to take drastic measures.
Plus, a very special dog who helps children learn to read.
Read to Boomer and see if you can teach him some new things here.
Pets in Paradise TV starts now. They say a cat has 9 lives. In this segment, we see that unfold. It's the story of a cat's lucky fate and an entire village willing to come to his rescue.
I was on my way home from an adoption event, and I was on the H1 right before the airport split. In the middle of 6 lanes of freeway was a kitten that had just gotten hit. And I came back around and I parked right in the middle of the 6 lanes. I ran up to the kitten to try to catch him, and as I approached, he woke up. And he ran under my car. And I went, oh no, I'm never gonna get him now. And I looked around, I dove under, and he was nowhere to be seen. So I assumed he had run off to the other lane and possibly gotten hit.
Unable to find the kitten, Stephanie headed home with a heavy heart. But little did she know a stowaway was riding with her.
I got home, drove into my driveway, got out of my car. My puppy greeted me as usual and circled. He stopped and barked at the rear wheel well.
A dog's nose is 1,000 times stronger than ours. Thanks to his keen sense of smell, Stephanie's puppy was the first to pick up on a new scent.
There he is. I looked up, and there was the kitten. So I quickly closed the garage door and set a trap with fresh tuna so that it would entice him out of my car.
48 hours later, the kitten still hadn't moved or come out to eat. A kitten has to eat frequently, like a newborn baby does. In a kitten's first weeks of life, it needs to eat once every 3 hours. An abandoned kitten can't survive more than a day or 2 without nutrition.
I realized he wouldn't survive for much longer and had to take drastic measures.
Stephanie came up with a plan to drive to her friend's auto shop to help get the kitten out.
I knew my friend Jamie, the mechanic, would be the only one with patience enough to get him out. She put the car up on blocks. We removed most of the panels from the back, and he wasn't there.
Time is of the essence, and they were starting to feel discouraged, but weren't about to give up yet.
Up here is like the only place left for it to be. I don't know where else it would be. It's brave if it's up here.
It seems like they had exhausted all options, but just then...
Oh! I see it. It's hiding under the headlight. His gold eyes just popped out at me when I was looking at him, and he kind of started backing his butt up the little cubby that he was in, just getting farther and farther in. And it was tough at the end. We didn't think we were going to be able to get him out.
They closed the doors to make sure the kitten would stay safe in the event they got him free. But it was a tedious process. Cats are one of the most agile domestic animals. And lucky for this guy, he found a safe place under a front lower panel.
Oh, he's pretty tough.
See him. I'm gonna grab him. Give me a towel.
Here.
Right, I'm gonna wrap him in a towel.
Ready?
Oh my God.
You okay?
Oh my God, it's a miracle.
When we found the cat, it was exciting because we looked and looked and looked, and it was almost the last resort, and then we found him, and he was just so scared and so beautiful.
Thanks, you guys.
So for the kitten to still be alive is pretty cool.
Now that he was set free, he needed immediate medical attention. Stephanie rushed to the vet. It's common for cats injured in car accidents to have internal bleeding. The vet got him straight on an exam table to help give him every chance at life.
Okay, he's got good paint color, so he's stable. He can use his front legs okay. I'll see. It looks like his back legs hurt.
The kitten that Stephanie rescued only sustained a broken leg. He did not have any brain trauma or spinal injury, which is very fortunate for a kitten that was found on the freeway.
Most cats who get hit by cars don't survive or have to be euthanized because their injuries are too severe.
He used 2 of his 9 lives that day.
What a miracle. Little tiny kitten hit at 60 miles an hour with only a broken leg. So 2 days later, I picked up little Infinity. I named him Infinity because my car saved his life.
24 hours later, the little guy has made a full recovery and has been adopted by a loving family.
Now his future looks extremely bright, from a feral to a spoiled kitten.
It also took some good Samaritans to give this kitten another chance. Welcome back to Pets in Paradise TV. There are more than 500 dog breeds, ranging from the world's smallest, the Chihuahua, to the mighty Great Dane. Our goal is to pick one and learn all about it in It's All About the Breed. Today, it's all about the Shetland Sheep Dog. The Shetland Sheep Dog, known most commonly as a Sheltie, is believed to have originated in England or France in the early 1900s and were originally bred to herd sheep in the Shetland Islands, hence their name. The Shetland Islands are known for their small breeds of animals, the Shetland pony being the most famous, and the Sheltie is also a small animal, probably bred to herd small Shetland sheep. They are sometimes referred to as miniature collies, which is incorrect. They're generally 13 to 16 inches in height and weigh between 11 and 24 pounds. Females and males are usually about the same size. They have a double coat consisting of long fur on the outer coat and a soft undercoat to regulate temperature. They come in tricolor, blue merle, and sable with various white and tan markings. Shetland Sheepdogs were first recognized by the American Kennel Club in 1911. Their early history isn't well documented, but it's believed they were probably descendants of small species of the King Charles Spaniel and the Scottish Collie, later the Rough Collie. In fact, they were first known as Shetland Collies, but collie owners objected because they were a mixed breed, so the name was changed to Shetland Sheepdog. They are no longer used as herding animals, although the herding instinct is so well developed in their genes that they can still perform intricate herding practices with little or no training. These days, Shelties are raised as pets, but some are used as farm dogs, where they are great herders of chickens, ducks, geese, goats, and cows. Shelties are known for their sweet temperament, not only with people, but with other animals. They do well in apartments, but as with most dogs, they need their breaks and a good walk or two each day. They are highly intelligent and are considered to be the 6th smartest dog out of 132 breeds. Some researchers have found that a Sheltie can learn a new command in less than 5 repetitions. As for health issues, Shelties are athletic and generally healthy dogs, but can be prone to diseases of the eyes, which puppies should be examined for, as well as for thyroid problems, epilepsy, hip dysplasia, and skin allergies. They're also 4 times more likely than other breeds to contract a certain type of bladder cancer. Before breeding, Shelties should be tested for inheritable genetic diseases, and breeding between 2 like-colored Shelties can sometimes result in blindness and deafness. And now you know all about the Shetland Sheepdog, the Sheltie. In this segment, we learn the power of a dog's love. Love that can teach, heal, and comfort those who need it the most.
Read to Boomer and see if you can teach him some new things here. Have a seat. There you go. This is Boomer, also known as Boom Boom, and he is an animal-assisted activities dog, and he's been a therapy dog now for about a year.
When Dad came home from work,
A therapy dog is trained to provide affection and comfort to people, and also support those with learning difficulties.
So when they come to the library and they see a dog, that encourages them to want to read. So what we do is try to make it a fun event. They're not judged. A dog doesn't put on any airs at all. You see what you get.
In efforts to be helpful, some adults find themselves correcting what a child is trying to read.
Sometimes I remember and sometimes I just forget.
But when a child is reading to a dog, the focus shifts, and all thoughts of being judged disappears. Along with building self-esteem, children's reading skills improve as they begin associating reading with an enjoyable setting like this.
When they establish that comfort level, they start building self-esteem.
At the end of the day, when Boomer and his handler head home from work, they also feel a sense of purpose and fulfillment.
Boomer, are you tired now? This is Boomer at the end of a day.
But it's not always easy work. Andrea learned the power of a dog's love and service through heartache of her own.
I got into the therapy dog program because of my brother. My brother was diagnosed with a terminal cancer back in 2003. I took my brother into the doctors and they said, we got to admit your brother into the hospital. And so I started thinking, what am I going to do with all three of my dogs? My mom can't have all three of the dogs at the house. So I asked the hospital if Angus could stay there. And they said yes. And Angus was the perfect dog. He just laid there with my brother, very comforting. And the clinicians were very impressed with it, so they let me have free rein to go around to other patients on the ward, and there were a lot of cancer patients, so I did that. And then when my brother came home to hospice care, I had my two whippets and Angus, and they all laid on the bed with him, and he passed away 10 days later. Angus provided that comfort that my brother needed in his final days. As sad as that whole experience is, my brother gave me a silver lining. His death was a silver lining because it opened my eyes up to what animals can do between a human and animal bond. And that's when I started the therapy program. Good boy, stay. There you go. Come on.
Angus now regularly visits hospitals and is part of the care team.
Hey, good to see you.
Most of our patients here have been in the hospital for several days, sometimes even weeks.
Hi.
And it's kind of difficult for them to feel separated from their normal home environment.
I really feel a lot more relaxed. I've been in the hospital now for 6 days, and just to have an animal around and something that's like home again really made me feel good.
Not only do therapy dogs help patients feel good, they also provide physical benefits, ranging from decreasing blood pressure, heart rate, and even increasing hormones associated with health and a feeling of well-being.
Oh, you like that? He goes, oh yeah.
Angus made me feel good.
It's hard to believe these are therapy dogs. When they are working in a hospital setting, they mellow out so much, but they can get into so much trouble when they're together.
What may seem like an ordinary dog can be used for extraordinary things.
Good catch.
It may not be a glamorous job, but someone's got to do it. We're going to meet a professional pooper scooper who actually makes this dirty job look fun.
Hey, I'm Allie, the Poo Princess, and my title is Fecal Matter Technician. Today I'm going to show you a day in the life of a pooper scooper. Come on.
In this segment, we'll follow Allie around and get the scoop on poop.
People often ask me, are you the pooper or the scooper? I am the scooper. I scoop up the poop and I move on to the next challenge. There is 40 million tons of dog poop in the world every year, and my job is to clean the world up one poop at a time.
And out of that 40 million tons, a lot of it ends up in your local landfill, where it often makes its way into the groundwater supply. Allie may joke around, but her job is important.
Hey, this is my first house with 2 dogs. Let's check it out.
It's safe to say Allie has job security. The average dog poops about 3 times a day, totaling about 3/4 of a pound. Puppies poo about 8 times a day, but lucky for Allie, their mother usually cleans it by eating it. Ew.
So the dogs usually follow me around and watch me clean up the dog poo. It's something that their mother did for them when they were kids, so I guess mom gets stuck with the dirty work again. 1 house down and 2 to go. Being the poo princess, I've heard it all. Being in the top would be, you have a crappy job. Another one is my friends calling and saying, hey, just thought I'd call and shoot the poop with you. Another one is, hope you're making a poop load of money. House number 2, they have 2 big dogs with 1 a week pickup, so I'm expecting a lot of poo today.
As you can see, there are lots of jokes in this industry, but there are also some serious facts. Just 1 ounce of dog feces contains 23 million microorganisms of bacteria, nearly twice as much as human waste. But that doesn't stop Allie.
It's like being at Easter and I'm a little girl again. It's the Easter egg hunt.
Get to pick up all the poo. Is that pumpkin? Have you guys been eating pumpkin? Sometimes you get it really stuck in the grass. You just gotta it's all right, no job too big for the poo princess. I caught about a 3-pounder here, maybe a little bit more.
While Allie is scooping up her profits, let's explore an alternative way of getting rid of this canine toxic waste.
Bye-bye, poo.
Yes, yes. Who's that?
Meet Dwight and Craig. They have 2 mastiffs.
He's about 160 pounds, and she's about 120.
A lot of food is needed to keep those massive bodies going, but what goes in must come out.
So about in a week, we probably collect about 30 to 40 pounds worth of dog poop.
And every week that adds up. Soon, Dwight and Craig just couldn't take it anymore. But lucky for them, they found some little helpers.
These worms are Icenia fetida and Perionyx excavatus, also known as red worms and blue worms. These are composting worms and they eat poop.
Worm composting has become popular over the years. All you need is a container, shredded paper, poop, vegetable scraps, water, and worms. Evidently, worm poop doesn't stink.
There's no smell once I open the bin cover every day. Like when you open it, there's nothing. You really can't smell anything.
The end product is called vermicast, a great fertilizer, but when using dog poop, it's not recommended for edible plants because some harmful bacteria may still remain. Now let's check back in with Allie, the poo princess.
We're coming up on our 3rd house, and the scoop on this house is they have 3 dogs, 2 very large and a Shih Tzu. I'm expecting a good amount of poop, so we're gonna pull up right here.
Dog waste removal is a growing business for lots of communities.
We're just getting ready. I'm putting on my gloves.
Many clients are willing to pay more than $40 a month for this service. The startup costs are low, but there are some risks involved.
One of the hazards of my job is that I might run into aggressive dogs. Look out! 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 Look at the big poos! Right, let's go. If the dog poops in the yard and no one's around, does it stink? Do the flies come? Yay! Gizmo, where's your poo? Is your dog a pain in the grass? Mine is. Oh, look at this. Tidy, tidy, tidy. A philosophical question. Which came first? The pooper or the scooper? Which one do you think came first? We're gonna have to do a double empty at this time. My job is fun. You can make a lot of jokes about my job. How many jokes can you make about your job? It's the world's most glamorous job. Poo.
But poos and giggles aside, the U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention confirms that pet waste can spread parasites like hookworms, ringworms, tapeworms, and salmonella. So if you're not cleaning up after your dog's waste, your family, dog, and water supply could be at risk.
I am the poo princess.
Bricks, you keep eating. You're giving me good job security. Bricks, the big mastiff, he just gave me the biggest wet willy. Thank God this is the last job of the day. I can go home and have a shower.
The most popular way to clean up dog poop is to pick it up with a plastic or biodegradable bag. And the safest way for our environment is to simply flush it down the toilet. Well, it may not be that simple.
There you have it, the day in the life of the poo princess scooping poo. And tonight, hundreds of dogs will be pooping across the island, and tomorrow, I'll be there.
Welcome to Pets in Paradise TV, the show that explores the relationship between humans and animals in one of the most beautiful places on Earth, Hawaii. In this episode, we'll witness the miracle of life as we follow Abby, a Labrador Retriever, from conception to birth. It was an exciting adventure from sonograms to an emergency C-section. We watch as Abby's family fights for survival. Plus, 6 months later, we'll follow Indy, one of Abby's puppies, as he learns the ins and outs of being a service dog. We'll see how he can improve one man's quality of life and give him something to live for. Pets in Paradise TV starts now. This is the story about no ordinary dog.
Come here, Abby.
Her name is Abby, and she was trained to be a champion show dog. But in this segment, we see her put through the true test, a test of love, instinct, and survival. Nikki and Abby grew up together. Nikki had a big hand in training Abby since she was just a puppy. And as she grew to win dog shows, they collected a lot of ribbons and medals along the way. But there was only one real prize that Nikki had her eye on.
My mom and dad promised me that if she becomes a champion and she's really good and everything, that we can breed her and we can get puppies from her because she'd have such great little puppies.
Well, Nikki got what she wished for. Abby became a champion, and her parents kept their promise.
This is the first time that we have, as a family, decided to breed a dog. And so we wanted to be sure that the breeding that we were doing was going to produce healthy puppies with good temperaments.
Healthy puppies meant a thorough examination for Abby. And since Abby's parents, Mark and Marie, were both veterinarians, they knew exactly where to go to get her hips and eyes checked, have DNA testing, and have an ultrasound on her heart.
When Abby tested healthy, we said, okay, we're going to go ahead and breed her.
It only took a few days to find Abby a father for her new family. Meet Saba. He's a handsome Labrador Retriever who's about to change Abby's life forever.
So today's the big day. Abby's in heat, and we have brought Saba over to meet her and get to know her. And hopefully they're going to breed, and we're going to have some puppies.
Blind dates can be challenging, but the timing is just right.
Saba's behind the door here, and we're going to give it a try. Here he is. And Saba's ready. And they're going to get to know each other a little bit.
Saba here really likes Abby, you can tell. He's willing to go in the pool for her.
They hit it off right away, and the magic happened.
Okay, so now we're gonna take Saba home. We've had a very good and productive day. We start the waiting game now to see what happens and see if Abby does become pregnant.
It's been 4 weeks since their romantic date, and everyone is wondering if Abby is expecting.
We're here to find out if my puppy Abby is going to have puppies. And we're at my dad's office. I can't wait to see if she's got babies.
Right, so we're gonna roll her over.
Now they're getting their first peek in Abby to see if their family will be growing soon.
So there's a puppy right there, you guys. Hooray! At this stage, it's a little puppy blob in the center, like right here. See the little puppy in
At
there?
4 weeks, the fetuses start to develop their spines, eyes, and faces.
Pregnant or not?
Yes, pregnant.
How many?
6.
They counted up to 6 puppies. But at this stage, the fetuses are the size of a kidney bean. They'll have to do another ultrasound at 7 weeks to be sure.
Remember when I thought babies came from your tummy? Because that's what got big, your tummy.
No, right, but you know better now. That's for sure.
Sadly.
It's week 7. Abby's puppies have grown another 21 days. And now the waiting game continues.
Wait, do we get to tell if they're boy or girls as soon as they're born?
Oh yeah, yeah.
As Abby's pregnancy grows, so does Nikki's curiosity.
In their embryonic sac.
They're in their sac, yep, they're born, and then she should clean them up, and she eats them.
No, oh, that's the gross part.
While Nikki learns more than she wanted to about the facts of life, they're getting ready to take Abby for a 7-week checkup to make sure all is going as planned inside her.
Now we're getting ready to do another ultrasound to see how many puppies, because first my dad thought there were 6, but we can't totally be sure because it's kind of hard to see them because they're just little dots.
At this point, the fetuses should have toes, claws, whiskers, a tail, and actually look like a puppy.
So this is a head, and then we're going to follow the neck up, and so then that's a body.
And now it's time to count the puppies.
And 2, and 3, and 4. And then this is number 5, and that's number 6 underneath them. And I think I can make a 7. Yes, I can. All right, let's go for 7.
7.
Excitement filled the air as Nikki found out about lucky number 7.
But look, you can see a little paws.
You're right. Look at that. There's 7.
The average gestational period for dogs is about 9 weeks, so they're not far from meeting the new puppies.
So Nikki's really come a long way in this journey, and we're very proud of how she has trained Abby and what she's done with Abby, and this is going to be another challenge and another step to show that she's responsible and that she can handle what's about to come upon us.
Probably most likely going to be 7. Let's say I hope they're 7. And if they're 7, I'm going to hide another one. My mother will not find it until it's big enough to run around.
If you think your pooch may be pregnant, there are some signs to look for. She may not be eating normally. She may be off her food and just not interested. If this is her first pregnancy, her nipples will swell dramatically. Her disposition may change. She may act insecure or want more attention. She might be less energetic and not interested in playing the way she normally does. Of course, the most obvious indication that your dog is pregnant is that she'll start showing. And the last way to find out if your dog is pregnant, believe it or not, you can buy a canine pregnancy test. Ask your vet. And now, more Pets in Paradise TV. Abby's been pregnant for 8 weeks, and today's the day.
At about 4:30, Abby started having some contractions, a little bit of bleeding, so we started watching her, and at 5:15, she delivered her first puppy, and unfortunately that puppy was dead. It was stillborn.
What happened was she just wasn't able to push that puppy out, and it stayed within the uterus too long and couldn't breathe.
When I heard the puppy was dead, I wasn't very happy about that because one, it's a puppy, no one likes seeing dead puppies. 2, it was Abby, and I was scared the other puppies were going to be dead too.
We're just concerned that she's got a little bit of uterine inertia, which means that her uterus muscle isn't contracting enough to help her push along the labor. It's been about an hour since her last puppy, and she just really hasn't done a whole lot. So, and her contractions for that first puppy were kind of weak, so we want to keep her moving a bit. We're going to give her a little oxytocin.
Oxytocin is a hormone that helps stimulate the uterus to contract.
I think you need to be clear that once you start down that path and you give the oxytocin, then you have to be prepared to do a C-section because you're going to separate the placentas now, are going to separate, and she's either going to push the puppies out or we're going to go in and do a C-section. You have to think about her and you have to think about the puppies, so it's that fine line between, obviously you want live puppies, but you also want to end up with a live mom. She's having contractions.
Abby starts to have another contraction, and the fate of puppy number 2 is in Mom's hands.
You're brave, Mom, to do that.
There we go.
Is it out?
Almost.
Is it alive?
It sure is.
Everyone let out a sigh of relief as puppy number 2 made it out alive. Puppies are born surrounded by the placenta sac. Abby opens the sac by eating it. The membrane contains a hormone that encourages her to lactate.
It barked. That's cute.
Abby will continue to lick her newborn to stimulate breathing. It's been 30 minutes since last puppy, and 30 to 45 minutes since the last oxytocin. So they gave her another shot to help her push a little harder.
My dad gave her a shot of that stuff to help her like a while ago. Nothing's happening and I'm kind of scared about that.
Definitely, natural birth is always better than a C-section. A C-section is surgery, and with surgery there are risks. We want her to have these puppies naturally if she can.
Mama, she's pushing. This isn't going as good as that one went.
No, it's not, is it?
No, Mom, it's not. Well, I don't want another dead puppy.
No, none of us do.
One more time. One more time, Abby, come on.
Despite their efforts to help Abby, puppy number 3 doesn't make it.
Is it dead, Barbara?
So it doesn't look like this one is alive. So we're gonna go ahead and take Abby in, and I think we're gonna go ahead and do a C-section and see if we can save any of the other puppies.
With 4 more puppies inside Abby, they didn't want to take any chances. It's time to head to the hospital for an emergency C-section.
All right, so we're gonna load her up. What? Yes, you can bring the puppy.
In the last segment, we saw Abby's delivery go from bad to worse. Now she's in the pet hospital being prepped for an emergency C-section. Studies show that 20 to 30% of puppies do not survive the birthing process, and a C-section is usually the last resort. Mark is preparing Abby for the major surgery, and time is of the essence.
So the day is not going as planned. At this point, we're just trying to do what we can do.
The medical team is working fast, and the little sounds of life are filling the room.
I said he's got a heartbeat, and that's a good sign. There you go, Nick.
While they're setting puppy number 4 in the incubator, the team is working on getting the other 3 out. Each puppy is carefully pulled out of Abby's womb by hand. The nurses are swinging the puppies back and forth to get the amniotic fluid out so they can start breathing on their own. It's time for the last puppy to be born, but it's not showing any movement.
This one's just not breathing. Let me just see if I can get him. And she's a little smaller than the rest, and so she's got a heartbeat, but she's not breathing, and her heart is actually not, it's not beating that fast.
They're trying to stimulate her just as her mom would after a natural delivery. The puppy is also fighting the effects of anesthesia.
She's squeaking. Keep going. That was a loud yell.
Yeah, there she goes.
Yay.
It was a long, tense journey, but Abby and the family are bringing home 5 healthy puppies.
This is a girl.
Stay tuned to get a preview of the puppies and find out the big plans for the runt of the litter. Surprisingly, the gestation period for most dogs, regardless of size, is between 58 and 64 days, with the average being 63. The length of a pregnancy is most likely determined by the size of the litter, not by the size of the dog. It's good to know the date because premature puppies don't often make it. Those born before day 58 are usually stillborn or die within a few days. If you're breeding on purpose, you'll know the date of conception, or very close to it. If you don't know, make an educated guess. Count 63 days, and you'll have a good idea of when the big day is coming, whether she's a diminutive Chihuahua or a mighty Great Dane. And now, more Pets in Paradise TV. Early in the show, we witnessed Abby giving birth, but things went from bad to worse, and she had to have an emergency C-section. At this point, things weren't looking good for Indy, the last puppy out.
This one's just not breathing. Let me just see if I can get him.
But Indy didn't give up. He had a bigger calling.
She's squeaking.
To give someone else a second chance at life. Here are Abby's puppies at just 5 weeks old. While they were all enjoying carefree lives, Indy was chosen to go to Hawaii Fido Foundation, which is a service animal organization. He had his work cut out for him. 6 months later, we met up with Indy on one of his training exercises.
Training the potential service dogs to get the phone off the holder is the first step in training a phone retrieve for people who have limited use or can't get out of the wheelchair.
This is called target training. First, we start with the dog by just touching something like a plastic lid. And when they do it, touch, yes. They're supposed to bump it with their nose, and that earns them the reward, so they know that what they did was right. The next part of the training is getting them to do it hard enough so that we can get maybe pushing a button out of a soda machine to get our can of soda. When he hits this, he's going to hear a noise to let him know that he did it hard enough. Touch. Yes, good boy.
The button pushing skill is really important to help people, especially in wheelchairs, who don't have the arm reach. And we can use this skill as the handicap opening door.
At barely 6 months old, his constant and consistent training is paying off. He's now working on how to retrieve items off a shelf.
Indy, pass up.
To take it to the next step, the handler is bringing him into a new environment.
Bring it.
To put his skills to the test.
This is a dog that's barely 6 months old, and he's been having constant and consistent training for the last 2 months, and this is how it pays off.
Get it. Bring it.
Indy had perfected his skills and was now ready to be placed in a new home. This is Mike, a vet who was diagnosed with Alzheimer's and was suffering from depression. He was beginning to lose hope.
My life was not really a living life. You know, I was more of like a plant. I didn't have anything to do.
So being alone was a problem. He would have blackout type of spells, which are part of the seizure relations. Well, he'll just black out and pass out.
I'd become more depressed and think about how much time I'd have left with my family.
Before Indy came along, Mike volunteered at Animal Care Foundation, where he was welcomed by 50 furry friends every day that looked forward to his visits.
There was a bond that was built there immediately, and it helped me to feel better, because now I had something to do each day. So that's when the light came on that I needed more in my life. And you know, my family's great, they take care of me, they watch out for me, but there's something about cats that it inspired it and turned it into this relationship that I have with Indy right now.
But Indy was a friend that could give back in a big way.
Can you get my shoes? Get the shoes.
Yeah, Mike's quality of life has improved greatly with Indy here with him. He's much happier. I think his depression is a lot better.
Thank you.
With simple commands, Indy could help Mike get through everyday tasks that were once very difficult for Mike to do alone.
Indy is trained to know where home is, so if Mike says, Indy, let's go home, Indy can help him get back here.
With the additional responsibility meant more freedom as well.
They've done research showing how pets increase your quality of life and lifespan for people, but it's amazing that they can train them to do so much more.
Bring it here.
Indy has given Mike the ability to be more mobile, and together they've established a new daily routine.
My alarm goes off, he gets the medicine for me. He can go over and tug on the refrigerator. He'll get my water for me so I can take my medicine.
Thank you.
And he likes to pick up dirty clothes, and he'll take them to the basket. We have a laundry basket in the bedroom. If I'm laying on the floor, he lays beside me and keeps his head on me like he's listening for something. So he's truly an amazing dog. Can you put it back? Huh? Put it back. Indy is a... Put it back where it goes. Motivator. Put it in there. A partner. A worker.
And a friend. A friend who ultimately saved Mike's life.
You know, he likes to play like a normal dog. And he has his playtime. He loves to go to the park and play with the dogs there like a normal dog. But when it's time to come home and he puts his vest on, then he knows where we go. He can pick our car out in the parking lot. I mean, it's amazing what these dogs can do and what they can bring into a life.
From the runt of a litter fighting for his life to helping someone else fight for their life, Indy is truly an extraordinary dog.